Welcome back to another Formula 4 lap guide, this week from Snetterton. And man, the fixed setup has so much understeer at this track, and once this car starts to understeer in a corner, you lose so much time. So for this fast lap, I focused on two skills that help me minimize the entry understeer. So let me walk you through how to use these skills to not only minimize your understeer, but to maximize your performance. As we come across the line to start a fast lap, we're heading into turn 1, which is a really fast right-hand corner where the car really wants to understeer. So this is a great chance for us to use our first skill, which is listening to the front tires. You see, the more you hear the front tires squealing through the corner, the more the car is understeering and the more time you'll lose. So we want to hear as little tire squeal as possible heading through turn 1. So we turn in, lift off, and just brush the brakes right at this one board on the left, touching our right side tires on the apex curbing just before the curbing becomes extended, and keeping the car tight to the right as we get hard on the throttle, just dipping our left side tires in the grass there on the exit, but that's okay, we don't lose any time there. We're braking right at this line across the road in front of us, from 5th gear down into 2nd gear, trail braking all the way into the apex, getting a really late apex though, and we're hard on the throttle coming out of this corner, trying to get as good of an exit as we can, into 3rd, 4th gear, heading into a really fast left-hand corner. We're in 4th gear, just turning in at this yellowish grass in front of us, and just lifting off the throttle after turning, but we're not touching the brakes. Again, using this lift to help turn the car at about 25% throttle. Right about here though, we get back to full throttle, use all of the road on the exit, 4th, 5th gear, that's a great first sector. Coming into a really tight left-hand corner, we're braking just before this one board on the left. This is a really challenging braking zone though, because the car becomes really unstable at the apex. So we want to be really smooth with our transition from brake to throttle. So after turning, we slowly peel off the brake pedal. You can see that on the right there. Slowly peeling off the brake pedal, and then slowly beginning to apply the throttle. Trying to get a late apex about 3/4 of the way through the corner, before getting hard on the gas in 2nd gear. But again, feeding in the throttle, not slamming on the gas, just feeding in the throttle because the car gets really loose through there. Coming into Hamilton corner, just a lift off on entry, before getting back to hard throttle, into 5th gear. Again, just trying to lift off through there. You can take it flat, but it's actually faster if you just do a slight lift. 5th gear, braking just before this right-hand arrow on the left. From 5th gear down into 3rd. Again, really easy to lose your car through this corner if you're too quick lifting off the brakes. So we're trying to ease off the brakes as we come into the apex, and then ease onto the gas pedal to keep the car from spinning. Before getting hard on the gas, 3rd, 4th gear. A really tricky corner because it's hard to spot your turn in. There's this white kind of dot on the left there. And just after this dot, I'm turning in, lifting off to about 30% throttle before getting hard on the throttle again on the exit. Again, we're not braking through this corner, just lifting mid-corner to help get the car to rotate. So 4th gear, lift off to about 30% throttle before getting hard on the gas again. In 4th gear, we have one sector left, but the most challenging sector left because we have two corners where we're braking into another corner. This first one is a left-hander that turns into a right-hander. So we're going to be turning in actually at this one board. And just after turning, we're going to use our second skill, which is braking lighter to brake more. Now through this braking zone, I'm only going to hit about 50% brake pressure, but I actually found that the less I brake, the more I decelerate. Again, it's because if we brake too hard, we're asking the front tires to do too much, and we won't slow down as much. So we're braking at about 50% brake pressure, keeping the car all the way to the left, braking down into 3rd gear, braking harder as we go into a straight line before lifting off the brakes, trying to carry as much speed to this right-hander as we can and getting on the gas as early as we can. In 3rd gear, 4th gear, turning in just after this dark patch on the left, in the middle of this kind of yellow patch. 4th gear, 5th gear, use all of the road, easy flat through there. Trying to carry as much speed through this right-hander, again leading into a tight left-hander. So we lift off to about 75% throttle, nosing the car back into the apex. They have to be good at counting sticks here, because at this 4th stick, I begin to lift off the throttle, and at the 3rd stick is when I begin applying the brakes. Again, not a super hard brake, but just about a 50% brake, trying to get the car to rotate into the corner. We carry a little bit too much speed here, but I'm hard on the throttle, catch that oversteer, 3rd gear, 4th gear. Whew! We almost didn't make it across the line, we almost spun it and ruined it in the last corner, but we made it, putting in a 146.2. I didn't really mention it after turn 1, but really listen to your tires through all of the high-speed corners and all the heavy braking zones. It really helped me on this lap. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys. Have a great week of racing, and I'll see you next time. Snetterton, 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 Snetterton.